The third party, so mention the more two or more parties. So if you see in construction, it ensures clarity and accountability among between the owners and the contractors and engineers. So these three persons are main important to for completion of a construction of works. See, what is the main objective of the contracts? See, we already discussed the contract definition. Contract is nothing but it is the agreement between two or more parties. Then the next, what are the objective of the contracts? So define the responsibility of each party. So some owner having some responsibilities about his constructions, and at the same time contractor has also some responsibility for completion of owners buildings within the schedule. So that is the responsibility of each party will necessary, and one of the main objective. And the second one is fix cost and time and quality of standards. So now fix the cost. So for example, the owner will ask how much cost will up to completion of a building, whether it is G plus one or G plus two building. See how much cost will be calculate and estimate to the contractors. Now at that time contractor will estimate the total items and total building cost, then the finalizing the cost. Then also time, see how much time is required to completion of a buildings. So the time also mentioned, and the time also is in the contracts. And quality standards, so the contractor should be maintain the quality standards. And the quality standards, the quality of material, quality of skill labors, quality of workmanships. So everything should be maintain a quality standards. The next, protect the both client and contractors. So client means owner and contractor, to protect the client and owner, minimize the disputes and delays. So delay will be minimized. So if the delay is there, so automatically the rate also is more, because there is, as time is goes, then automatically the tax, some money will be increasing some of the materials. The next one, essential elements of a essential elements of a valid contract. So generally it having some points, how the elements involved in the contracts, say offer and acceptance and legal relationship and lawful consideration, capacity of parties and free consent and lawful object and possibility of performance. So these are the essential elements to require the completion of a contract. So the next move on to parties involved in a contract. See, so if it is a one contract is there, the contractor will the contract which may related to a road work, the contract which may related to a building work, the contractor which the contract which may related to a bridge work, whatever the work is there. So how many persons are, how many parties are involved? We already discussed at the starting. So two or more parties are involved in the contract. So owner is nothing but as a client, and contractor is involved, engineer or architect is involved, and subcontractor is involved, and supplier is involved. So these are the parties are involved. Each party is having defined duties to ensure smooth project progress. So if is not if you not if it is a delay, so everything the project entire the project will also delay. Then the classification of contract. So the contract classifications are mainly classified into five categories. So contract classified based upon the payment methods. So based on the payments, the whether the payment is given to the contractor by 6 months, or the payment is given to the contractor or 1 year, or the payment is given to the contractor after completion of the work. So how based upon the method of based on the payment method, the contracts are mainly classified into five categories. One is a lump sum contract or fixed price contract, and second one is item rate contract, and third one is percentage rate contract, and fourth one is cost plus contract, and fifth one is labor contract. So first one we will look at the lump sum contract or fixed price contract. In lump sum contract means the entire work given to the contractor, so by a fixed amount. So for example, the owner will ask to the contractor, so complete my entire building up to 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs is the fixed price. So the contractor will also agree to the owner, accept the owner request, that is 10 lakhs. So that is a fixed price. So within the 10 lakhs you will complete all or entire the buildings. So that is the fixed price or lump sum contract. Then item rate contract. Item rate lump sum contract, it is not in it is a private sector, and item rate contract is nothing but the contractor will do work or will agree based upon the item rate item based. For example, slab work is the one of the item in the building, and beam work is the one of the item in the building, and foundation is the one of the item in the buildings. So based upon the item, for example, if you take a foundation work, so how much the cost for foundation, so the amount will be fixed for particular item only. At the same time, same side, like that, for example, if the foundation amount is 1 lakh. So next about the walls. So walls, how much cost, that is a one item. Then columns or pillars, so for laying of pillars are how much cost of the pillars. So this is the item rate based contract. So percentage rate contract means the contractor will complete the project within the scheduled time, but he will ask, so how much profit or how much percentage. So original price is there, original price addition of the percentage of contract. Generally in buildings, in projects, the contractor percentage is 10 to 15 percentage. So the 10 percentage of the the contractor percentage 10 percentage, that will be added to the original price. So that is simply called as a percentage rate contract. Cost plus contract. So cost is the original cost, then contract, so how much contract, then labor contract. So labor, how much how many number of labors is required. So that is will be considered into one criteria. So the entire labor workmanship. So the entire number of workmanship is required for the work. So that will be decided one person. So that will be one of the contractor and piece of work contractor. So we already discussed lump sum contract. So the contractor agreed to complete entire project for a fixed price. So for example, best example with the simple and well defined projects. So for example, we already discussed it. So for example, owner will complete the work up to 10 lakhs. So the contractor will also agree to complete the entire project or entire the building for fixed price. So this is the lump sum contract. This is the advantages is simple and cost certainty, but disadvantage is not flexible for design changes. If the some if some days after some days the design will be changed, so at that time it is not suitable lump sum contract. So the item rate contract, we already discussed it. Payment is made according to the quantities of completed item based. Item based contract, it is related to item based element. It is commonly used in public works department or public government works. So this is suitable item rate contract. Advantages, it is fair and transparent, and disadvantages is required detailed measurements. So detailed measurement is required for each item of work. The next, coming to the percentage rate contract. So percentage rate contract means contractor quotes a percentage above or below the standard scheduling of rates. So scheduling of rates is nothing but it is the book or it is the list that gives a standard rates. So that rate will be finalized by public works department or public works department or other government departments. See, it is widely by government departments for simplicity. And the next move on to the next contract types of contract, cost plus contract. So contractor is paid the actual cost of work plus an agreed profit margin. This is also added in the cost plus um, contract. It is used in uncertain areas or complex projects like defense or R&D works. In those areas, cost plus contract will be suitable. Then next move on to the last from second word, labor contract. See, the contractor supplies only labor while the materials are supplied by owner. So if the materials are supplied by owner and the contractor supplies only labor, so then it is called as a labor contract. So in labor contract suitable for small repair or maintenance works only it is suitable. So whereas a large works or a large repair works it is not suitable. So this is about the labor contract. Then move on to turnkey contract. So the contractor design, construct and deliver the project ready for operation. So the owner is only need to turn the key to start using the facility. The entire the whatever the design, construction, deliver, the entire the project will be checked by the contractor only. So entire will be from starting onwards to finalizing the building. So the contractor will check all the details. So the owner only need to turn the key only. So that's why the name is turnkey contract. To start the facilities and example for power plants and hospitals. So piece of work contract. This is the final type of contract, a piece of work contract. So payment is made based upon the quantity of work and done or pieces is completed. So payment is measured based on the quantity of work. So how much quantity of work done? For example, the daily basis, some based upon the work completion, the payment will be done. So payment will be made as per based upon the quantity of work. So commonly for repetitive works like brickwork and plastering, this piece of work contract will be used. Then comparison of contract type. So if you comparing the contract, whether is a lump sum contract, item rate contract, cost plus percentage contract, if you comparing those classification, how it is there, whether the risk is owner or the whether the risk is bear by uh, contractors. So the comparison based upon the payment mode and risk and suitability. So lump sum contract, if you take a lump sum contract, fixed cost and higher contractor risk. So in lump sum contract, it is a fixed price. So the contractor will agree whatever the owner given a certain rate. So for that rate, the contractor will agree. So based upon that only he will starting onwards to end onwards, the entire work is completed. So for that, if in case here the contractor only risk, why the contractor only risk? Because after some days or after some months, the material cost will be more. If the material cost will be more, so automatically the amount of the building or the rate of the building will also more. So at that time, the contractor will may risk about the lump sum contract. If you take a item rate contract, it is a flexible and accurate. Uh, then cost plus and low risk to the contract. In cost plus contract, it is a low risk to contract, and item rate contract, it is a flexible and accurate. So in these three methods, the item rate method is a flexible and accurate method. So these are the contracts and types of contracts. We already discussed contract. Contract is nothing but it is the legally bounded by agreement between two or more parties. So then it is called as a contract. And second one is the types of contract. We already discussed. We have a five types of contracts. One is lump sum contract, item rate contract, percentage contract, cost plus contract, and labor contract. So we already discussed it. Then next, who bear the risk? So in lump sum contract, contractor will bear the risk, and item rate contract is a flexible and accurate method among all the methods. So and cost plus contract is also low risk to the contractor. So this is about the contracts and types of contracts in unit 5.